What's up YouTube? I'm Mike. Today I'm back with another video, actually kind of a follow-up to the video that I shot earlier today, asking the audience if it was time for me to increase my androgen load to 2 to 3 grams of androgens per week in order to continue to grow my body mass above and beyond what it is right now. I've been publishing a series of shorts that I decided to just turn into a video because videos do way better than shorts, and to kind of bring this all together because a lot of people who are responding to that video are saying to take HGH and insulin. And so I wanted to put together this data to really illustrate why it is that I have absolutely ruled out ever using insulin in pursuit of my bodybuilding goals. So if you haven't seen the shorts, the Cliff's Notes version is that tonight for dinner I had about 5 ounces of steak, a medium-sized baked potato, 1 entire ear of buttered corn, and I drank, I think it's like an 8-ounce bottle of Gatorade. That was my dinner. I got up to go to the bathroom and I started feeling, I noticed I was feeling really badly. So I checked my blood sugar, and this was somewhere maybe 45 minutes to an hour post meal. And when I checked my blood sugar level, it was 70. So I don't know what the total caloric intake of that is. We could figure it out if we calculate it all up. But a medium-sized baked potato, an entire ear of buttered corn, and 5 ounces of steak plus Gatorade. This is a relatively balanced meal. There's no greens here, but there's no reason in my estimation that should have caused postprandial hypoglycemia, which is effectively what I ended up with. So when my blood sugar crashed, normally what I would do is I would just eat like Starburst, Skittles, something with dextrose, some kind of really simple sugar to try to bring it up as rapidly as possible. Well, tonight my wife had actually prepared this glass dish that was full. You can see it in the short if you go look at the shorts. It had 2 pounds of diced strawberries, fresh diced strawberries, that she poured 3/4 of a cup of sugar on top and then let sit to turn into the syrupy, sugary strawberry concoction that I love. Sugared strawberries. So I decided to eat that to bring my blood sugar up, and I ended up eating the entire 2 pounds. So over the course of some period of time while sitting here playing Overwatch 2, I ingested 2 pounds of strawberries and 3/4 of a cup of regular sugar, granulated sugar, whatever. So the total caloric intake there is 685 calories and 170 grams of carbs. So for the bodybuilders and insulin users in my audience, if you were going to actually eat a meal that included 170 grams of carbs, I suspect this is probably not something that you commonly do, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I certainly don't. So if you were going to ingest 170 grams of carbs, how much insulin would you typically inject if you were going if you knew you were going to consume that volume of carbs? The reason that I ask is because immediately after, in the middle actually, while in the middle of ingesting them, I had probably eaten 1.5 pounds of them. I made a short where I recorded my blood sugar reading. And while I was still actively ingesting the sugared strawberries, my blood sugar had risen to 144, milligrams per milliliter? Nanograms per milliliter, what is it? Milligrams per deciliter. So my blood sugar got to 144 milligrams per deciliter while ingesting the strawberries. I finished the remaining 1/2 pound and drank all of the syrup and immediately checked my blood sugar again, and it had dropped to 126. So while I was continuously putting more carbs into my body in the simplest form of carbs you can get, basically, my blood sugar started to fall during ingestion. So I checked it again see if I can get this meter to tell me. I checked it again half an hour after ingestion, and it had fallen to 110, which is about where it started to level off. 45 minutes post ingestion, it was 105, and 1 hour post ingestion, which I just checked now, was 102. So if I keep saying resting, what is it? Fasting. If you're expecting a fasted blood sugar level to be what, 90 milligrams per deciliter, if I had injected any amount of insulin before eating this food, I would have crashed the fuck out of my blood sugar. And that's 170 grams of carbs. My body seems to be exceedingly insulin sensitive. There's no guarantee over the course of the next hour that I'm not suddenly going to start feeling like crap completely on my own, check again and find out that it has continued to fall down into usually I feel it around 70. When my blood sugar gets in the 70 range is usually when I can start to feel it, and that's typically what it is when I feel bad enough to check. So again, I'm curious to know what amount of insulin you would have injected with that carb load. And keep in mind, this is why I've said this many times in my videos, when I was in the hospital, my blood sugar was, I don't even remember what the fuck it was, but they gave me 10 units of insulin with a D50 IV. There was 50% dextrose in saline. So they were constantly feeding directly into my vein sugar, and they checked my blood sugar, I think it was 15 minutes, 30 minutes post-insulin injection, and my blood sugar was at 96. 30 minutes later, it was 39. I thought I was gonna die. I suddenly in the hospital started feeling miserable. I was like, something is wrong. And there was obviously a lot going on. I was very sick, and then finally I told my wife, I was like, I think my blood sugar's crashing. She ran out in the hall, got the nurse, they came and checked it. I think it was 39. So that was 10 units of insulin. So I understand that for the vast majority of human beings on Earth, you just do some simple math is the way that I understand it, right? Especially if you're on HGH. HGH tends to make you insensitive to insulin? Insulin resistant. HGH tends to make people insulin resistant. I'm on MK677, which is also supposed to cause insulin resistance. I'm taking 25 milligrams per day, and I just had this result from eating 170 grams of pure sugar. Insulin in any amount will kill me. I just cannot take it. I would love if there's somebody in the audience who can tell me why this happens to me, why I'm so insulin sensitive, in spite of all of the reasons that I shouldn't be. I've been massively bulking forever. I eat like total shit. And this is why. This is why. When I ate an otherwise normal American meal, right? Steak, baked potato, and corn. Doesn't get any more American than that. I crashed my blood sugar to 70. I ate 2 pounds of pure sugar, and I seem to have stabilized 1 hour post-ingestion at 102 milligrams per deciliter. So I appreciate all of the responses to you guys in that video, but as you can see, I'm gonna have to come up with something other than insulin to get this job done. But despite that, I still would really be interested to hear in the comment section. Again, please respond to me. If you were going to ingest 170 grams of carbs, how much insulin would you take prior to ingestion to cope with that amount of carbohydrates? I can't wait to see that information. If anybody can shed some light on why my body reacts this way, I would love to know that as well. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.